with the right amount of oxygen, provides us with food, clean water. There are a whole series of services which are provided by nature, that we're utterly dependent upon, that are not factored into economic equations, yet are exceptionally important. Indeed, they're essential. Life could not exist without them. But when you consider what's happening to our environment, how we're eating into the capital of the earth, if you like, how we're using ecosystem services without valuing them properly, we are in fact affecting the services that we depend upon for our life support system. In the past, if we screwed up where we lived, we could move. We moved to new lands. We moved elsewhere. It's very important to remember that we're in a much different situation. We must remember that we cannot move anymore. There's no new land on this planet. It's all been inhabited. The seas are now almost completely used, and yet we all want to consume more. We all want to live in a wealthier way. But we must remember there is only one single planet, and it has its limits. Limits.
Easter Island is one of the clearest and simplest examples of a society that destroyed itself. Easter is the most remote habitable scrap of land in the world, an island about 4,000 kilometers west of the coast of Chile, settled by Polynesians about AD 800, and famous for the gigantic stone statues weighing up to 80 tons that the islanders erected and then eventually tore down. So there's been a long-standing mystery how the islanders erected these gigantic statues without machines on an island without any trees or sources of rope, and why they tore them down. The answer has come out from studies by archaeologists in the last several decades, and it turns out that when Polynesians first settled Easter Island, it wasn't a bare grassland as it is today, but it was covered with a forest, including the world's biggest palm tree. And the islanders began to cut down trees for the usual reasons, clear gardens, have wood for construction and dragging statues and canoes, build their houses for fuel, and they continued to chop down trees until around 1680 they chopped down the last tree on the island, at which point they no longer had wood or rope to erect the statues, but also without trees, the soil was not protected against erosion, and they couldn't go out to sea to harpoon tuna. So Easter Island society collapsed in an epidemic of fighting between clans which tore down each other's statues. The only large animal that they were left with for food, now that they didn't have canoes, was humans, and the society collapsed in an epidemic of cannibalism. At that time, if you wanted to make another Easter Islander really angry, you insulted him by saying, "The flesh of your mother sticks between my teeth." The metaphor is just so obvious. Easter Island, isolated in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, when the islanders got in trouble and had wrecked their island, there was no place that they could turn for help. They had no place to which to flee and no friends whom they could summon for help. But similarly, if we wreck the planet Earth, isolated in the middle of space, there isn't any other planet or galaxy from which we can summon help, and there's no galaxy to which we can flee. So the collapse of Easter Island is a metaphor for what may be the collapse of global Earth society ahead of us.